Garrett Wilson has spoken out on the New York Jets' biggest move of the offseason, bringing in a new quarterback in Justin Fields, which Wilson now has made his true feelings known about the man in Fields, who was Wilson's former quarterback years and years ago at Ohio State. And we're going to break all of this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, you guys have been going crazy with the subscribers. It really means the world to us. If you're part of that 74%, make sure to subscribe, join the cool side. And if we don't, then Matt, I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to start putting milk right into your car where the gas tank is. I'm just going to fill it with milk instead. And I'm going to keep doing it every day. You're going to have the milk-mobile, dude. You don't want that. So, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But all that being said, let's jump into the video, because what I'm saying there is just one of the dumbest things human history's ever heard. As we all know, Justin Fields is the newest quarterback for the New York Jets. One of the reasons why he signed with the Jets was the guarantee that he would be the starter and he would not be at risk of losing his position, which kind of indicates a lot, and we've talked about a bunch of it. We will talk about more stuff as well. But the man who we're talking about today is not Justin Fields. Well, it actually is Justin Fields, but it's also none other than Garrett Wilson, who spoke out on this. And now, diving into what Rich Cimini wrote about the whole situation, Cimini said that Wilson has told his friends he's thrilled about the addition of Fields. It's no secret that he and Rodgers didn't see eye to eye last season, but now he is a quarterback he knows and respects. They've maintained a good relationship. Another reason why Wilson is said to be excited about the 2025 NFL season. And on top of that, Wilson, according to Cimini, Wilson and Fields were teammates in 2019 and 2020, connecting on 66 receptions for 1,031 yards and 9 touchdowns over 22 games. One of the plays was perhaps one of the most acrobatic catches of Wilson's career, a midair magic act against Clemson in the 2019 Fiesta Bowl. They had a good thing in Columbus, Ohio, but it's worth noting that Wilson was more productive with CJ Stroud as his quarterback, 66 catches for 934 yards and 12 touchdowns in 10 games. The following season, numbers aside, Wilson has spoken glowingly about Fields' leadership, saying he galvanized the team during a COVID-shortened 2020 season. On top of all that, in regards to just Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson, this is a duo that wants to play together, that has had a lot of fun playing together, that agrees, is on the same page. They're young. There's a lot of reasons to be excited about this. Now, yes, Wilson's numbers did look better under CJ Stroud's, but CJ Stroud was the second overall pick, and it worked out well. Justin Fields was neither of those things.
And Garrett Wilson was a junior when he was playing with CJ Stroud. He wasn't his first year starting at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So there's that thing. One of the number one questions all off season was, is Garrett Wilson going to demand the trade, or is he going to stick with the New York Jets? We've gone from looking like it was more likely than not that he was going to demand the trade and looking like he was highly disgruntled and not happy where he was under Aaron Rodgers, to being excited to play for the Jets for 2025. That sounds like an absolute win in my book. Chris, we've talked about that we don't really think there's a quarterback out there that could take this team to a Super Bowl next year. So if there's not a guy like that, we might as well get the rest of the roster ready. And Justin Fields, he is a worthwhile signing if he makes Garrett Wilson want to sign long-term, and if Darren Mougey, which we expect to happen, can get the long-term deal signed with Garrett Wilson, our star wide receiver. Both of our favorite players on the team. So we want to have Garrett Wilson stick around with the Jets long term. That is one upside that can come from this Justin Fields deal. And I'm very, very pleased to hear that he is thrilled, because we have heard nothing but negative things with Garrett Wilson's relationship with the New York Jets. And it's great to finally have a positive thing that New York Jets fans can feel comfortable that their wide receiver is going to be here long term. And I think maybe not before the draft, but early in the offseason, you can expect to see a Garrett Wilson extension get signed. We know these star players, when they're up for that first big contract after their rookie contract expires or is about to expire, they only get more expensive the deeper you get into the offseason. So assuming we have a smart front office, they're going to want to get that deal done earlier rather than later, and they should want to get Garrett Wilson signed as early as they possibly can, so we can get our number one wide receiver signed and on the New York Jets for a long time, hopefully his entire career.
Absolutely. And I think it's really, really, really likely that when the Jets' new front office took over with Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn and the whole crew, they're qualified. So if two guys on YouTube who, when one of them's threatening to put milk in the other one's car, can understand the fact that Garrett Wilson's the most important player on the team, they can also. And there's just, it's impossible to imagine that it never crossed their minds when they were looking into Justin Fields and made it a sure thing they were going to get Justin Fields, that this was a move that Garrett Wilson was going to be happy about. I mean, Wilson literally said that he wanted Justin Fields to be his first quarterback in the NFL when he was asked before the draft about it, like, is there someone you'd like to play with? And he mentioned Justin Fields by name because that was his first quarterback at the high level of college football, playing at Ohio State. And clearly he's thrilled. I mean, this is huge. Obviously protects the Jets from potentially losing out on Wilson anytime soon. So very, very important. It was also mentioned by Garrett Wilson himself about that COVID 2020 season. Even when we thought we weren't going to have a season, Justin Fields kept the spirit up and always kept us prepared to go. He made sure the receivers were getting their work in. When the season came around and we got to play, it felt like it came together really well because of those reasons. So Justin Fields, I mean, look, we both feel pretty similarly about the way that Justin Fields plays football. It just feels like it's not going to evolve much further because there's just a lot that's left to be desired when it comes to being a passer. He's got talent. It's just a matter of putting it together and making it work. And being on his third team in 3 seasons definitely is not a good sign of, hey, this is going to work out. But if nothing else, now what we're seeing is a Jets team that's going to enjoy this guy as their quarterback. And the Jets need that. Now, Aaron Rodgers, a lot of the players spoke up and said, no, he's a great teammate. He has a terrible reputation. It makes no sense. He's awesome. Jermaine Johnson mentioning how Rodgers got Jermaine on a private jet back from Memphis when he tore his Achilles to keep him comfortable and everything. But Garrett Wilson clearly didn't like Aaron Rodgers. And when Rodgers was named to not be the Jets quarterback, it very quickly became apparent that that was a move Garrett Wilson approved of. So the Jets clearly, in a way here, as they should be, are catering to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. They should be catering to Garrett Wilson because, like we said, the quarterbacks, like the draft isn't good. Free agency wasn't especially exciting. And, obviously we didn't know where we were going to go find that quarterback. So if we can get the guy locked up long term, that's what we want to do. But what is important to see here is that, like you said, Justin Fields, maybe you believe in him on the field or not. What you have to believe in is the character report that we've gotten from this player off the field. Now, speaking more towards that quote that you just read about from Garrett Wilson about getting the guys ready to play during that COVID season, we have also heard more things like that in the NFL. On the Chicago Bears, no matter what was going on, most of the stuff that was going on was obviously negative, whether it was him underperforming on the field or the rumors of who's going to be the next quarterback, Caleb Williams or Justin Fields. Teammates always had nothing but positive things to say about Justin Fields, which is why that's the right character guy that we want to have in our locker room. That's the right type of culture guy that we want in our locker room. He's a guy who's been through adversity in the NFL, but he still is going to try to believe in himself and try to get all the players around him to believe as well and try to put together a winning offense.
On top of all that, again, like when it comes to the culture thing, which is just such a big thing with Aaron Glenn being the head coach, you look at it and it once again, and I know I've said this about a bunch of signings and it feels like it's getting old to keep saying it, but it just goes back to do you want to be a New York Jet? And if you do, you're going to be here. And if you don't, goodbye. And Garrett Wilson made it clear that he wants to be a New York Jet now because so did Justin Fields. And that's a good start. Already this new regime is making things known that there's a culture shift. There's a new world order with this Jets team. And players seemingly are responding almost entirely positively. The one negative moment I could think of is Quinnen Williams tweeting out, I guess it's another losing season for me or whatever. And honestly, Quinnen Williams has been with the Jets long enough where if he wants to air some frustration out, it's not the most professional thing to do in the world, but he's been very, very good for the Jets. And frankly, I don't really care that he did that. Like, as long as he wants to be on the Jets is what matters. Like, I get it. It's annoying to keep losing, but this is not a team that wants to lose. It's not a team that losing is going to be okay. And Williams, understandably, was... Look at his two head coaches. I mean, friggin' one of them was Adam Gase. You could have the greatest coach of all time And if you had Adam Gase, you had a career full of awful coaches because Adam Gase was there. He ruined everything. Adam Gase sucks. I should put milk in his car. But honestly, I need to find Adam Gase's house. But whoa.
And put milk in it.
And put milk in it. Flood his basement with milk. Oh God, this is weird. But look, in all seriousness, I mean, Quinnen has dealt with Adam Gase and then Robert Saleh, and Saleh's a good defensive coordinator, but the head coaching style, if it's all right, we'll get him next time, is not what 26-year-old grown men want to hear. Like, most people, most professional athletes who are this competitive don't want to be coddled. They want just be straight up with them. It's literally like that scene in Moneyball when Billy Bean is like, these are professional ball players. Just give it to them straight. Don't dance around it. Just be like, you've been traded. There it is. This person will set it up.
Yep. These guys, they got here by not making excuses, not accepting failure. That's how you make it from a high school athlete to all the way to the NFL. I don't have the number right in front of me, but breaking news, it's a really, really low percentage of players that are able to make it, and it comes from just not accepting failure. So when you come to the New York Jets, who have only failed to make the playoffs in the last decade and a half, it's easy to come in and get to a culture where it's kind of it almost feels acceptable to lose, and especially with Robert Saleh, when he's telling people it's okay when you make a mistake, and like you said, like, we'll get him next time, like, that can't be it. Like, it's got to light a fire under you every time you lose. And when the Jets are putting up double-digit losing seasons, at some point you just become numb to it. It's not your fault. It's just human nature. You're gonna become numb to losing. That's why Aaron Glenn, I love everything that he's saying. He still has not said one thing that I don't like. I want to, even if the Jets go out and lose a bunch of games, if it feels like, you remember 3 years ago, that first year with Sauce and Garrett and Brees, it felt like they were building something. And even though we still lost 10 games, it felt different.
That was the most fun Jets season of my life, like, as an adult.
I watched every single game was must watch, even though you knew they were probably going to lose. It was so much fun because it was just
every single game in your room.
But it was like, I still do that now, but it was just different. Even though the wins were not as high as they should have been, or we want them to be, it was still so much fun.
That was the most fun 7-10 season I've ever seen. Like, dude, I was watching every freaking game. I didn't care. It was good. We'd be screaming. It didn't matter. I mean, we saw that game against the Bills that they won. Like,
dude, that was the best game of the year. That was so fun.
Dude, they just didn't let Josh Allen throw a touchdown.
Because it felt like we could actually take down anyone after that game. And I think that might have been the last game before the losing streak. I remember Sauce picked off Josh Allen, one of his only 2 interceptions, so that was fun to see.
Dude, it was just it felt like something was changing, and like with the head coaching change and everything as well, like, it felt like we were really on the right path for the first time, and things just took a wrong turn because the Jets tried what was an obvious move to make that just backfired. And that the Rodgers thing clearly set things back. But now Aaron Glenn, he's trying to recapture that magic with the same group of guys that are not okay with losing, that want to be New York Jets, and more importantly, want to win as New York Jets. With coaches and stuff, you come into the Jets, and a lot of these guys are thinking, well, someone's got to try to turn this thing around, but if I don't, maybe it's not on me, because look at everyone else who's failed. Look at all the guys who have failed before me. Aaron Glenn does not care at all about whoever came before him. That does not matter to him. What matters is changing everything and winning. And it's the same thing with these young players who are like, I don't care who was on the team. I'm better than them. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I got this.
I think Aaron Glenn's going to come in, and if someone asks him, like, who came before you, he's going to say, me. I came before me. I used to play for this team. Like, the Jets are my team. Like, it was on me then. We turned it around. It's on me now. I'm going to turn it around again.
Absolutely. I'm honestly very excited. I think we will be able to have that magic. I mean, given that 2022 season was just exciting. We had a bunch of young, exciting players, and things were looking up. There was that game against the Browns when Joe Flacco just had those 2 touchdowns in a minute. We were jumping and screaming. That was awesome, dude. It was a fun season, and I think no matter what, this is going to be another fun season because these guys, the team that they're building, They seem calculated. They seem determined to turn this thing around. I mean, you got guys constantly saying they don't want to go anywhere. You got Aaron Glenn, who's acting like he's like, I don't care what anything was before this. What matters is today. Darren Mougey echoed the same thing, saying, no, we're not tanking. We're not trying to lose. Like, that's not who we are. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to win. Like, very dismissive of the idea of trying to tank. And on top of that, those young, exciting rookies, they're still very young and they're still very exciting. And I'm thrilled to still watch them play, man. I'm thrilled. I'm liking it. I'm having fun.
Yeah, dude, I hope that it's not just words and it actually leads to a change in that culture shift. I don't care if it leads to wins this season.
Same.
It has to feel different. Just like that season did. It has to feel different.
The last 2 years, it felt like we were just like, it felt like we were just like walking with a weight on our backs. Like, after Aaron Rodgers went down in 5 seconds, it just felt like we were like running with a weight on us the entire time. And after the Saleh firing, because that would signify the end of the season at 2-3, which we've been over that a million times. It is what it is. Look, guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe. We make a ton of fun videos, and that way one of the creators doesn't get his car filled with milk and the other one doesn't go to jail for vandalism. So, guys, make sure to subscribe. The entire future of Jets Digest relies on you. Yes, you. The one watching the video right now being like, I hate when people do this. This is so corny and stupid. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You loser. All right, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I'm the loser. I'm the one threatening to milk people's cars. Have a great day and go Jets. It didn't stop recording.